What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hammerdown Motorsports. Today we are cruising in the 2007 Ranger, and I made a few videos on this thing and just kind of, it was a fun little project that I started. I came upon this one for a decent price, and I was like, well, you know what? It's awesome for the yard, and it's light. You can do all kinds of things with it. It's a long bed. It's got a little 4-cylinder in it, and it's really just fun to drive. Honestly, to get in this thing and just go, it's cheap. It's just a cheap little beater truck, and that's, I think, honestly, what the world needs right now. You see people buying the K trucks, and they're super small inside, and I know some people really like them, but for me, I think just it's so much easier just to buy a Ford Ranger because of how easy it is to get parts and all of those types of things. And not to mention, I like to support a lot more of the domestic stuff as far as what my vehicles are. I have a couple of Japanese bikes. I have one German car, one British car, but that was the wife. That wouldn't have been me, I don't think, but I do like that car. I still have to make a video on that on the Jaguar. I haven't done that yet, but that one has been a lot of fun. But anyways, the little Ranger. We have this radio right here, and I took out the original AM/FM. It was, I mean, it did its job. It was AM/FM. That's all you got. You don't have any way to hook up your phone or anything like that. So I bought this cheap Chinese one, and it's a piece of crap. It's total junk. It's a waste of money. I was going to return it. They actually don't even sell it on Amazon anymore, because I guess that's maybe one of their games that some of these companies play. They make a really crappy, cheap product that people are going to buy because they're like, well, it's a screen. I can hook up a backup camera to it, and it's like $80. So yeah, what do you expect for $80, right? But save your money, buy something better. I would say that's probably the best way to go. I ordered yesterday all new everything, so we're gonna have that as an install video coming up because I'm sick and tired of this thing. What it does is it glitches out and then it ends up freezing, and you turn the key off on the truck and the thing stays on. So eventually they just kill your battery and probably overheat and burn the thing to the ground for all I know. So I ended up taking the screws out of the thing so I can unplug it and reset it when it does that, but that's annoying. I'm not living with that. So this thing is gotta go, and we're gonna be doing a stereo in the truck. Nothing crazy, just something so we got some tunes while you're driving, because obviously you gotta have some entertainment while you're on the road in your little Ford Ranger. So as far as repairs go, I've done a little bit of cosmetic stuff, you know, put the right mirror on this side, and that one now matches. Had the wrong one on it, and we still have a tire light. I put all new sensors in because we did put the new wheels on, and I think it just needs to be programmed, and then that light should hopefully go away. We have no more engine light. If you guys remember, if you've been following along, we did have a flashing engine light. Kind of why I got this truck in the first place is because it was not going to pass inspection because it needed some maintenance items. I ended up doing plugs and a coil on it, and that cleared that up. We did a thermostat, cleared up the other code that we had for the temperature gauge was showing too low because the thermostat was stuck. So put a brand new Ford OEM one in, and good to go. Now we have, well, obviously the interior could definitely use a little bit of work. You guys saw when I got in, we do have a split in the seat, and it's 187,000, almost 186,600 miles on the truck, and it's been a work truck its entire life, so it has a little bit of neglect as far as the interior goes, and the exterior's got dings and dents everywhere. It's a work truck. I'm not worried about that, but what I'm trying to say about these little trucks is kind of the whole point of this video is, do they sell a little truck like this? I mean, I know they have the Maverick, they have like stuff like, I mean, I dare say the Honda Ridgeline being a little truck, but it's kind of like a unibody thing. This is still a real truck. It's got a frame, it's rear wheel drive, it's got a decent sized bed, 7-foot bed on it. It's a decent little truck, and I think for a lot of businesses these were really handy. And MSRP brand new on this truck was around $17,000. So what can you get nowadays? I mean, this is a 2007, so we are, you know, there's been a lot of changes since then as far as pricing goes. Whoa, buddy, get off the phone. But yeah, there's been a lot of price changes. Now you're looking 30+ thousand for pretty near any truck nowadays, and interest rates are crazy. So what you can do is you can go and try to find one of these and you can fix it up because they're really cheap. I mean, honestly, I mean, not necessarily to buy sometimes, because some people are wanting like 8, 9, 10 grand for these things because you can't find them anymore, but there are a lot of them out there, and if you can find a good deal, they are fairly inexpensive to repair. So as far as options on this one, I mean, it's really automatic transmission, air conditioning, and long bed. That's all it has. I've hauled mulch with it. I've hauled a bunch of stuff around the yard. It's kind of my go-to. It's just like get in and go. It's simple. It's easy. It's mildly comfortable. It rides pretty good for what it is. It drives straight. That's all you really need. You don't need anything fancy for a little tiny truck. And they do have in the new Ranger, which in my opinion, the new Ranger is a little too big for it to be a little mini truck like this. And I love the little mini trucks, the S10s, the Rangers, even like some of the Mazdas and stuff like that. They're a cool little truck. Even the little Toyotas, price-wise, usually not the greatest on those, but I mean, I had a little Toyota Hilux from the 70s back in the day. I've had a couple S10s. I had a B2000 Mazda, and now we have a little Ranger. So mini trucks have always been kind of something that I really liked, and I like the big trucks too, don't get me wrong, but there's just something about the little truck that's fun. It's little, it doesn't have a lot of power, but you can drive it anywhere. You know, it just kind of, it's its own thing. And I think we kind of lost that as far as vehicles available to us, and it seems like they only want to let us have these big loaded crew cabs nowadays, which is, that's definitely been a good thing, because then trucks become the family vehicle, which I like. I have the Rebel, I have the Raptor, I have the Super Duty, all crew cabs loaded up. They're awesome for road trips, and you can haul stuff with them, you can tow stuff with them. They definitely have their place as those types of vehicles. But what if you just want to jump into a small little pickup and go, you know, get something at Lowe's, or, you know, go get a load of gravel or something like that? These trucks are low to the ground. That's another thing that's really good about them, especially when you pass 40 and you're like, yeah, crawling in and out of the truck is now becoming more of a thing that you never thought would be a thing. And the little Ranger is so easy to get in and out of, because you see usually two types of people that have these trucks. It's usually young kids' first truck, and they're just happy to have a truck, and then you have the old guys that, well, that's their truck and it's easy to get in and out of, and they're happy with, you know, what capabilities it has for what uses they need it for. Because when it comes down to it, if you own any kind of property or you do anything in your life, eventually you're going to need a truck, and it's better not to borrow one, it's better to have one, right? So if I were to have a message to the automakers, and I've seen this too, they have, Toyota has this little $10,000 base truck, and they're not selling it in the US, because why would they sell it in the US? Everybody would buy that, and then they wouldn't buy the expensive trucks, and they can't get all that interest money and whatever, and buying all this stuff that maybe you don't need. Businesses don't want all that extra stuff for something that's going to get beat up. Obviously, you see this truck, that was what it was used for. It's economical, but the guys don't take care of them, so why would you buy something fancy that they'll just destroy? So obviously, if they made the regular cab Ranger in the US, that would be a hot seller, and I'd be very tempted to buy one. I don't really want the regular cab F-150. It's a full-size truck, and when you're getting to that price point, you might as well just end up going a little further and getting a crew cab. So that's kind of where it ends up being. And then you end up with a V8 or the twin turbo V6. It becomes a totally different vehicle at that point, and sometimes you end up justifying more, and you end up with the big truck. So yes, the little truck has to be cheap. That's why it's fun. That's why it's just something that is more of a usable little economy vehicle, but still fun and still useful like a truck. And I think we really need something in that segment in the US and in Canada as well. So just out for a little cruise out here in Lancaster, and I'm gonna pull in here and get some supplies, because you can never have too much groceries. Let's say that. All right, we got some groceries. We're good to go. Let's see if we can get this thing to start on the first try this time. No, it still wants to do the long crank. So with this, it's got like I believe it has a check valve, and it loses fuel pressure, so then it takes a second for the fuel pump to get everything back to where it needs to be. So I have a new fuel pump for it. I just got to put it in, and I'm probably going to pull the bed when I do that, just so I can clean everything up underneath there, and then maybe pound some of the dents out of this thing. I don't know. Like I've said, it's kind of hard because I really want to fix this thing, but then how much time and money do I really want to put into it? But I do want to make it very like a reliable, nice little truck to drive, and that looks decent. I don't like driving something that looks like crap, so we're gonna clean the interior up, make it nice in here. So just for that experience, whoa buddy, make room for the Ranger there. But yeah, just a fun little beater. Gotta have a beater truck. And I find I drive this thing a lot. I mean, I don't even know how many miles I've put on this thing already, but just cruising around the neighborhoods and going to get stuff, probably almost 1,000 miles already. So it's been a good little truck. Needs a couple little rock auto items, but we got a little clunky in the front end. I checked the front end pretty well when I checked this thing out originally, but I think we got like a tie rod in or something like that that's clunky on the bumps. So I'm gonna deal with that as well. I have all new tie rods for the front, inners and outers. I put new shocks on it. We have Ranchos on it now. I got new shackles in the rear. So all the little items have been taken care of pretty well, except for the tie rods, which we're gonna do. So just a little tiny build series and just getting a little truck that I was gonna buy anyways into some nice working order, which I really do like this truck. I think it's really grown on me. The cheap part is definitely the appeal. Cheap on fuel, cheap to repair. How can you go wrong with that? So I imagine that's probably why they don't sell them, because there's not enough money to be made on something that will last quite a while if you take care of it and didn't really cost all that much to begin with. People are wondering, oh, well, they should have bought a Toyota. The Toyotas last forever. Well, the Toyotas also rust away, and then the frames are shot, and then they're garbage. But yes, usually the Toyota owners do their oil changes, and then the engines do last. I mean, some of them are decent. The new Tundras aren't very good. They've been having a lot of problems because they cheaped out and started building their engines in places where they don't have a lot of quality control, and now they're ending up with a lot of the issues that some of the domestics have had, and a lot of the other manufacturers as well. But you can get a lot of miles out of these. This truck was not super maintained, I don't imagine. It probably got a yearly oil change and things like that. I mean, I'm not entirely sure, but 187 almost 1,000 miles and still running really good. It has really good compression, all of that. Just a couple little maintenance items. But Marty from Marty Motoring, if you guys been following along, you know that, you know, we go back and forth with some things. He's more of the Japanese type vehicle channel, and he just bought a Ford Ranger, and his Ford Ranger is the same year as this one. It's just a short bed with a manual, and it has 350,000 miles on it. So 350,000 miles on a little Ranger, that same little 4-cylinder. I gotta say, that's pretty much those Toyota bragging rights right there. So you can get a lot of miles out of these if you take care of them. So I hope you guys enjoyed coming along for my little cruise out here with the little Ranger, and tell me your thoughts. What do you guys think about having a little short rally in the area if you guys are live around here? Or maybe one day we could do a big one. Like I was talking to Andy from DFR, and he's saying, you know, maybe we should do like a New York to Miami or something one day. That'd be fun. I mean, yeah, one day, who knows? Well, maybe we can build up to that. But it would just be fun to go on something and enjoy the reason why I'm an automotive YouTuber, why I'm a car enthusiast, why I do all this stuff. I've been spending all my money on cars my whole life, and I always will. That's who we are. We know it. I don't do it to impress anybody. I do it because I enjoy these vehicles, and I just want to enjoy it with other people and meet some good people in the process. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and as always, keep that hammer down.